People power growth, but recruiting and onboarding are expensive, exhausting, and absolutely overwhelming. I've been there, and it doesn't have to be this way. Welcome to Hire and Empower. I'm your host, Molly McGrath. Join me as we interview leaders who care about their teams and distill powerful lessons from them. This show is sponsored by H&E, helping organizations to find their best hire and empower them for success. Learn more at hiringandempowering.com. Listen up. Today we are speaking about becoming a subject matter expert, and I'm very excited to have attorney Cali Franks with me here of Lawline. Hi, Cali.
Hey, Molly, how are you?
Good to see you again.
You too. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, so I heard about you at the ABA Tech Show this year in Chicago, and I was speaking with Maddie Martin of Smith AI and Melissa Shanahan of Velocity Works, and we were having a nice little chat and speaking about online courses. And Maddie said, "Well, have you been on Lawline?" And I said, "What is Lawline? I've never heard of Lawline." And here we are. We are in a Zoom room. We are on a podcast together. So tell our listeners about Lawline, because I have no idea how the hell I haven't heard about you before.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Lawline, I always like to say, think of us like Netflix, but for continuing legal education. We provide and curate content for, our 160,000 plus viewers and subscribers that are attorneys across the United States. We have a lot of them, and we get to create some really awesome content. And I'm very fortunate to be able to connect to people just like you that are super passionate in the legal sphere, that get to kind of talk about what they're passionate about and have others people learn from them.
So 160,000, is that correct?
Yes. We have a lot of connections.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So tell our listeners a little bit about the model. And I know you are, maybe tell a little bit about your backstory, because I think it's fascinating how you got connected with Lawline during the pandemic. Or I love your story that you share with me. So let's start there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you said, I am an attorney. I live in Texas. I was licensed in 2018 and have been in Texas practicing before Lawline as an insurance defense attorney. I did that for a few years. During my time as a practicing attorney in Dallas, I joined our local young lawyers bar here and became really involved with the CLE committee, where I thought, I like to talk. It can't be that hard. I can help out. I learned it's much more than talking, and I got to help out and create a lot of CLEs for our local bar that are really specific to young lawyers. It was very exciting to see kind of the connection and chemistry that I was able to give our members and networking experiences through that. And one day when I was in the pandemic thinking about what my next move was in the law, I said, I really enjoy this CLE thing. I don't think that's really a thing anywhere else, but let's look around. I came across Lawline, and the rest is history. I'm very fortunate to do kind of what I'm passionate about. And I think that there's something to be said about what would you do for free, right? And I proved my first that I did it as a volunteer for free for 3 years. And then finally I got to come over and do it full time. So that's a bit about my story and kind of how I got to be a program attorney here at Lawline.
Oh, that's so great. And congratulations on finding your home. And that's coupled with your unique ability and passion. So I love the tagline, Legal Learning Unlimited, online learning for attorneys striving for engaging, relevant CLE. I don't think I've ever heard engaging in CLE in the same sentence, and professional growth content. So I know, is this just for attorneys? Is it for support staff? Tell us a little bit about using this platform for supporting your CLE requirements, number one, and for your growth in a law firm.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lawline's core mission is to empower the legal profession's pursuit of justice. And of course, that extends to support staff as well as attorneys. Most states do require continuing legal education for attorneys in X amount of hours, depending on the state that you're in. And so at Lawline, we view it as our duty and our obligation to our subscribers to ensure that, we're helping each attorney further their pursuit of their client's justice or the justice of whatever they're doing. And because of that, we have very relevant CLEs. We have very engaging CLEs. And that's really where my passion fits in is, there are a lot of CLEs that are done every year that is, immigration update 101 or, how to handle your first divorce. And those are all well and meaningful CLEs and something that we also have on our platform as well. But we include, relevant topics that are occurring in our everyday lives. And we also stay really engaged to the social justice aspect of the law. For example, recently with the Ukrainian crisis, we offered a few courses of our site for free to help attorneys with, dealing with clients that may be in crisis, immigration wise or other way for attorneys to just kind of help out in that area. So Lawline is very different from your CLEs that you can remember back in the day, and being completely online allows us to have that aspect of on demand that a lot of us, because of Netflix and others, are craving.
So the subscription would be for the law firm to join. And how much is it for a monthly subscription?
Yeah, so our subscription is right now, we do have enterprise accounts, which is the entire law firm. But right now, if you log on, you can subscribe for $2.99 unlimited. You watch any and every course that you want, and it's totally for you to take advantage of. We also report all of your CLEs for you, so you don't have to worry about reporting back to your state bar, which can sometimes be a pain. And we track all of your CLEs. So if you're like, I have to have 12 CLEs by the end of December, we can make sure that tracker is on your dashboard so that you can check that out.
Oh, fantastic. I didn't know that. So tell us about for the support team, legal admin team, paralegals, what have you. Can you tell us a little bit about the education that you provide for the admin team?
Yes, absolutely. So a lot of our members and subscribers find a lot of value in allowing their admin team to view the CLE content because it allows them to kind of get a deeper understanding of what the attorney is going through or what the attorney is trying to accomplish during a certain case. Or in immigration in particular has a lot of nooks and crannies and a lot of issues that present itself that we have courses for that support staff find very valuable. In addition to that, we are beginning to launch paralegal specific content that will allow for subscribers who have paralegals or legal assistants to help them more for both their type of job and also understanding the attorney's side of things a little bit better. So we're really looking forward to engaging more support staff moving forward, as we think that in the pursuit of justice that includes all of the support staff as well.
So the support staff providing education and or for providing more education for the support staff, or both?
Both. So obviously we like to get the subject matter experts, and what better person than people who are living through it or people who have a really good insight into that. So both, absolutely. That's always what we strive for at Lawline, is to find those individuals who can really give the content on a real side, and not some kind of I've done something adjacent sort of thing, but somebody who really can provide that insight.
Great. I love that. So from a subscriber, from a law firm perspective for personal and professional development, education, training, etc. This is fantastic, because so often, and I think you and I were talking about this before we recorded, is that I will get calls from people saying, I need you to hire me a paralegal, and they need to come batteries included because I don't have time to train. But in this tight market, which the predictions I'm seeing, it's not going to change, at least the earliest for another 2 to 3 years, if not more. So finding experienced people in immigration, estate planning, PI, whatever it might be, from a paralegal, paraprofessional, legal assistant perspective is difficult, because it takes a lot for paralegals to make a change. They don't job hop typically. And so your alternative is to sit and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait to find someone that is experienced, which then you're turning down business because you can't take on new business unless you, as the attorney, are going to be serving as a paralegal. And it becomes a very vicious cycle and not a growth plan that I would recommend. So, for listeners here that might have an immigration firm, estate planning firm, PI firm, do you have programs online for them to send their support team, whether it be base level, intermediate, or advanced level?
Yeah, so we have courses on all of those subjects that you're talking about on
Great.
all three levels of that. They may not be geared specifically towards like your paralegal and immigration law, but what it is, it allows the paralegal or the support staff to have that insight and understanding of where you as a professional are coming from when you need certain deadlines, or why this document is important, or how a divorce case is handled from beginning to end. Things that, as attorneys, we have to learn the hard way sometimes. And that's by doing. And as you said, you don't have that time to kind of get people up to speed when you're in the middle of a divorce. And unfortunately, as a former associate, you don't realize all of the, the things that you're missing until after the fact. And you look back and you're like, oh, now it makes sense. So we're hoping to cut down on that a little bit. And you also are allowed to kind of see what your professionals and your support staff are looking at, right? And understanding and have that conversation with them about that particular topic or presentation they watched.
Well, as you were talking, I know you have over 1,700 and growing courses online, but all right, so let's use family law as an example. And you get online and you have a paraprofessional, paralegal, what have you, on your team, and they go on, you delegate this to them to go on to Lawline, go into the back end of the academy and look for all the relevant courses. And they start going through it, whether from the attorney perspective or from the paralegal perspective. I'm just thinking how great for them to use this as part of their training and onboarding, then come back and debrief with you as the attorney, and then figure out where the missing holes are in that practice specific area that you're in, and say, okay, this is what I'm understanding. Here's what I'm taking your role as the attorney, my role as a paralegal. This is what I'm understanding for the process from beginning to middle to end to why, what have you. And then here's the parts that I couldn't find training on, and then going to you as the expert family law attorney, and you coming to Lawline and say, great, here's where I see the gap. I'd like to do a course on X. And now you can become a subject matter expert and part of the faculty of Lawline and become a speaker. So number one, you get to become an expert and an influencer in your specific area. Use it for your branding, your socials, all that. Become and train and teach and be on the Lawline faculty, but also at that same time, be able to really streamline and advance your internal training system.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of people who will use it as, an onboarding system. And it's particularly exciting when you see other attorneys that are in your firm staring back at you at the other screen to tell you kind of what you need to learn, while also getting great exposure from, the 160,000 plus other views, subscribers that we have. So I think it's a really great happy medium to find that. And I think what we get by that kind of exercise that you described is we get a lot of practical things, right? A lot of times CLEs are very abstract. They're very, theory based, and those are of course lovely and fantastic and, great conversations to have. But the exercise that you just took us through really shows and highlights Lawline's applicability. And that's because, you can talk about a lot of things, but when you practice it, it's a different world, right? That's why attorneys walk out of law school wanting a residency instead, but we get thrown into a law firm where we have to be taught these skills. And so by having that conversation with your support staff, having that conversation even within yourself while you're watching a presentation is very valuable, not only to you and your firm, but also to the applicability and the practical standpoint that a lot of our CLEs differentiate between, because we provide that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just even looking at some of the courses you have here and the ratings. It's phenomenal. You have some courses with over 4,000 5-star ratings, and some of the topics of considerations for well-crafted operating agreements for New Jersey. I mean, there's no shortage of topics that you can, again, start from the basic to the intermediate to the advanced level. And I'm just looking through all your courses here with the overview, the learning objectives, the layout. It's just phenomenal. So anything New Jersey LLCs, you can go to any state, any practice area, and really search within there and be able to hone down. And I'm just, before we started recording, I'm searching through here, but my, oh my, this could be a great onboarding plan for people in your area of law as well, and really leaning in and leaning on Lawline to support as your virtual or bring in in-house online or onboarding process and training.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of value that has been learned over these past few pandemic years of education, just in general, right? We know that people are happier when they're able to, learn at their own pace, but also learn about things that interest them and that affect their jobs, or may not. You can come on here and learn all about immigration law and get it nailed down in your profession. And then if you're really interested in patent law, go over and see what's happening at the case law updates in 2022, or what the Supreme Court has to say. And I think those are very valuable things outside of, onboarding is, and there's also very valuable to, not having the same boring, Zoom calls or meetings or, presenters when you're on board a lot, to having the ability to kind of diversify and really understand what else is out there in your profession instead of your little silo of your onboarding that's occurring. And then you can go back and revisit them as many times as you want through the subscription and learn about other things as well, which, we're seeing a lot of companies take on an educational aspect to their benefits, right? As either being a subscription to a different online e-learning platform service, or using, Lawline as a benefit to not only get your CLE credits, but to expand really your interests and explore some of your passions.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about becoming that subject matter expert. We have attorneys and or paralegals listening to today's podcast. Let's talk about why they would want to reach out to Lawline and become part of the faculty and what's in it for them, other than, which is reason enough for me, of being able to support you with your internal training and onboarding and systemization. But what's in it for them as an attorney from an entrepreneur in a business and a firm branding perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's interesting to kind of approach Lawline as, what kind of platform that we give these attorneys to really explore and discuss their passions. And that's something, like I said, I love so much about my job. And so being able to give that opportunity, I think, is fantastic. And, as an attorney myself and, surrounded by attorneys almost every day, we all strive to be someone that is looked at as the subject matter expert. As we were talking offline before, the law offers such a wide variety of expertise. There's so many nooks and crannies. You could be an expert on like Lego lawsuits, or you could be an expert on, the upcoming Supreme Court term. There's so many different ways to really explore and find your niche, that because of that, there's really no shortage of topics that can be explored. And so by coming on to Lawline and wanting to be faculty, you're already taking that step of, I have all of this passion and knowledge about these particular types that I want to share with my, maybe my support staff, or share with my clients, or share with other attorneys within my state or outside of my state. You mentioned the 160,000 plus viewers and subscribers. That gives such a insane volume of viewership and exposure that, presenting at your local bar or presenting to, your in-house, your firm, is not going to give you that kind of exposure. And so having a lot of referrals is something that we have seen come from our faculty. Obviously, as we know in the law, it's dependent on your area and the topic and the time of the day. It sometimes feels like whatever's hot in the headlines. But being able to have that on a website and a platform that you can link to, that you can share, and you can present to the world, not only, you've taken the time and dedication, but you've really are a subject matter expert on this. And like you said, 4,000 people have left a 5-star review on it, or whatever that looks like, is something that's really valuable in the law, as we value education. And we always are evolving as a profession. And it's something that's really cool to be able to share and experience through Lawline and our faculty who love to present. And it's so evident. And it's so much fun to be able to watch that come to life.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I know before we spoke, you said even just from the SEO and the Google juice perspective of if you search my name and I'm in there as a faculty, which I'm excited to do some presentations for you all coming up. And that will help support. See, whoa, my attorney is part of Lawline faculty. Let me click on this and see what it is. Oh my goodness, this is an online platform for training in legal. And wow, they must really be the expert.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have SEO optimization for that faculty directory that you're talking about. I usually, when I Google our faculty, it comes up in the first couple of searches, if not the first page. And it's really a way to differentiate yourself from, another personal injury attorney or someone else that is practicing in that area or that city or that state even. And it's another way for people to get to know you and know what your passions and presentations and type of law are before even, reaching out to you. And, a lot of things happen on our presentations where people have questions and they'll reach out to you directly. And, maybe that's a lead, maybe that's just, an associate who is watching their 12 plus hours of required CLE and wants to know more about this like statute. So you have a lot of different avenues and areas to promote yourself within the presentation, as well as the presentation stays online, which determining by the content of the presentation, if it's evergreen or not, can be, up to a few years to, we still have presentations from 2017 on our site that are relevant. As long as the content is good, we will continue to do all the CLE on our side to keep that up. So it's something really cool and a legacy. You look back at 2017 now, and that seems 100 years ago, but it's really cool to see the evolution of the law and the passions behind that.
Absolutely. So talk to our attorney friends here who might be a subject matter expert and tell them a little bit about how to get in touch with Lawline.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would encourage anybody who is passionate about an area or a topic or a specific part of the law to reach out. Subject matter expert sounds like a daunting word, but what it really means is that, you've taken the time and the understanding and you've lived it, or you've experienced it, or you've, researched a lot of it. So reach out if you have any ideas on topics, or maybe you are really good at in intellectual property law, but you have no topics. We are happy to help brainstorm that. You can reach me by my email at cali.franks@lawline.com. There's also a part on our website that you can request to be faculty and fill out that form as well. And that goes to one of our program team members, and we will reach out to you to kind of get some ideas of what you were thinking, and we can take it from there. But I am always amazed, especially young attorneys, as where my heart lies currently, that discount themselves on being something that they can talk about. And I would challenge you all to understand that you have great strengths within you that other people do not have, and knowledge that other people may not think is valuable to share, and it is. And it's something that can be scary, but we work you through the process seamlessly. Everything we do is in-house, and we will definitely walk you through it. And I would be more than happy to talk to anybody about any topic or idea that they may have, and get you out there on our platform and get you exposure.
Yes, excellent. And for our listeners, none of this should be scary. Listen, because many of you are accustomed to doing workshops, education-based workshops in your community online since the pandemic. Remember, many of you calling me and freaking out and scared about, I know how to do it in person, but how do I navigate to the virtual world and take my workshop and do it online? And you made it through that. So for our listeners, getting online, getting on your platform, becoming a subject matter expert, this is such a way to leverage and optimize as I shared with you, Kelly, in our very first meeting, I'm very passionate about estate planning, Medicaid planning, probate, trust administration. That's where I started my career back in 97. And I'm looking here on your platform, Medicaid planning. You have 135 courses in here, many of them for geared towards state specific, New York, what have you. So listen, attorneys, if you're in Pennsylvania, you're in Texas, you're in Colorado, wherever you are, become the expert in your area, get on the platform in a wonderful way for you to really leverage this through your newsletters, through your blogs, through your social channels, through the SEO that Lawline will also provide as well. And again, to support you with your online, your internal training and onboarding. Same thing with probate. I think I saw 14 programs in here, many of them state specific. Become the expert in your state. This is a great way. It's free, right? For them to become a presenter. They don't have to pay you.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you all are very, very well versed. Many of you are doing podcasts, radio shows, what have you. So you're already an online influencer. So now is the time to really leverage that. And I would highly recommend that you take great advantage of this phenomenal resource for you, both internally for your practice, as well as externally for your branding and your marketing and online influencing. And your clients, they will think this is the shit. Like, they're going to love it. They're going to be like, wow, my attorney is on this national platform, becoming a national speaker. It's phenomenal. And you could do a press release on it. There's so many different things. I go down a marketing tunnel for hours on this one.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. You are a part of a platform when you get on there that we are truly, our mission is to support the justice of attorneys and empower them to do however of great of job to represent their clients that is. And to be a part of that platform and to be a part of something that people can watch and learn from it's so fun and it's exciting. And it's something that you can really, hang your hat on and know that you touched X amount of people and you receive that kind of feedback.
Yes. Yeah, my goodness. I'm just even looking at some of these courses. I know what's front and center for me. This morning, I got a call for somebody wanting an experienced Medicaid coordinator that can do the application and the qualification, all that. Well, there are only 5,000 elder law firms across the country, and there aren't Medicaid coordinators applying on Indeed. So finding a really great paralegal, I'm looking here in the topics, utilizing promissory notes and gift planning to qualify for Medicaid, qualification application. There's so much here in regards to, I'm just even looking at these 135 programs. You have the onboard, how to prepare for Medicaid fair hearing, Medicaid 101, what you need to know to maximize your bottom line. There's some phenomena, then the ratings on these, holy moly, 711 ratings. These are attorneys rating how helpful and beneficial these programs are. 2,000 ratings, 6,000 for advising your clients on aging, how to plan ahead, part 1. I mean, there are some phenomenal critical issues facing senior clients. Your employees probably would eat this up with a spoon and then be able to really support you and put it in order of introduction for the next person that you're on board. This phenomenal work that you all are doing. Thank you.
We appreciate it. We really appreciate it. And we strive, like I said, really hard to fulfill our mission and to take that feedback, whether that's practical feedback that we discussed at the beginning of here are some other tips that you're kind of the gap. And also, the requests from our subscribers and our viewers, those are our clients and we take those very seriously. And so we try every effort to, when a request comes through, that we attend to that. And this is the creation that you see because of that. You see very valuable, relevant, exciting topics because we are so in tune with our viewers and our subscribers that we provide that. And we're really, really excited to be able to do that for the legal profession.
Oh, Cali, thank you. I am so beyond honored to have met you. and hear about your program and what you're doing for attorneys, and have us as a resource for the attorneys that I support with hiring, training, and onboarding, and as well for this opportunity to really showcase and spotlight really industry and groundbreaking attorneys in their specific area of law.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate coming on to the podcast. I hope your listeners enjoyed it, and I hope it's sparked some creativity like it does for me every time I get talked about how to create a CLE course or what that goes into that. So I'm excited to be here, and I really appreciate it. And I hope that people check out Lawline and reach out if you think you would be interested in presenting a topic or have any ideas.
Yes, no shortage of ideas. I can tell you that. For just go on the course, go to lawline.com, go on the search feature, put in your practice area, start to see what programs are already out there. And I am certain you will see where you can support with filling the gap in regards to providing value and training, both internally as well as externally, become a subject matter expert. Thank you, Cali, for being our guest today.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to have all the links in the show notes for you all that are exercising, driving, what have you. It is lawline.com. And then Cali, your direct email is
Cali.franks@lawline.com.
okay. It is CALI. All right, listeners, until next time, continue being a leader leading leaders.